Hello and welcome to another car fix video from CarFix, where I do what I love and I love what I do. In today's video I'm going to be talking about code p0496. If you have this code set, that means you experience engine performance issue right after refueling. Now, engine performance issues can be caused by many different problems, but this code is one of those problems. Now, the definition for this code is gas vapor flow in an unpurged condition. Now, why does it cause engine performance issue? Well, because as you fill the car with gas, the gas tank has liquid gas and vapor gas. And since gasoline is very volatile, so that means it evaporates at low temperature, the liquid gas you're adding to the vehicle has to displace the gas vapor inside the gas tank. Now, the gas vapor escapes through something called the OVRV, or onboard vapor recovery valve. Now, as the gas vapor escapes through that valve, it goes to something called the charcoal canister. Now, as it goes to the charcoal canister, it will be stored unlocked there until certain conditions are met, and the PCM decides to pull all the gas vapors from the charcoal canister to the engine. Now, when all the conditions are met, or the right conditions are met, the PCM decides to pull some of the gas vapors from the charcoal canister into the engine. Now, it does that by energizing something called the Purge solenoid. Now, this Purge solenoid is a duty cycle solenoid. So basically, what it means the PCM controls the amount of on and off of the solenoid itself. Therefore, controls the amount of gas vapor that's being pulled from the charcoal canister to the engine. Now, the Purge solenoid has two ports. One is connected to the engine vacuum. The other one is connected to the line coming from the charcoal canister. Now, when the right conditions are met, the PCM energizes the solenoid, applying engine vacuum directly to the charcoal canister, pulling some of the gas vapor into the engine where it can be used. Now, when the purge conditions are not met, the purge solenoid is normally closed, sealing the charcoal canister and sealing the engine vacuum from leaking. Now, the engine performance happens when right after refueling, when the purge solenoid is partially stuck open or completely stuck open. Now, let me explain why this code can cause engine performance issue. Now, normally the charcoal canister is saturated with gas vapor right after refueling. Now, if the purge solenoid is stuck open and you just start the engine up, a full engine vacuum will be applied to the charcoal canister. Now, this condition will cause all the gas vapor inside the canister or the charcoal canister to be pulled into the engine, causing the engine to run rough and very rich. Well, the engine runs rough because it's running very rich. Now, rich condition means you have more gas than air. Now, the ideal air-to-fuel ratio is 14.7 to 1. That's 14.7 grams of air to 1 gram of gas. Also, this condition might go the other way. It can actually run lean. Once the charcoal canister is depleted of all the gas vapor inside of it, this will create a vacuum leak, causing the engine to run lean. A lean condition means you have more air than gas. In order to test the purge solenoid to see if it's stuck open, I'm going to need a vacuum pump or a vacuum gauge. Now, I can do this with the pump or the gauge itself. And now, to do it with the gauge, the electrical connector for the purge solenoid has to be disconnected. To make sure that the PCM is not energizing the purge solenoid, giving me a false reading. And also, the vacuum gauge has to be hooked up to the gas vapor side of the purge solenoid. Now, while the engine is running, if the vacuum gauge register any engine vacuum, I don't care how small, that means the purge solenoid is either partially stuck open or completely stuck open. Now, the vehicle I'm working on is a 2015 GMC Terrain with a 3.6 liter engine. Now, as you can see, they put the purge solenoid in a really crappy spot. It's actually at the back of the intake manifold, and it's very tight there. I can barely see it. Now, as you can see from my gauge, the vacuum gauge almost reads full engine vacuum. That means the purge solenoid is completely stuck open and it has to be replaced. Now, this particular purge solenoid is not connected to the intake manifold via a vacuum hose. Is actually bolted on the intake manifold with a 6 mm bolt. Now, in order to replace it, I have to remove the air snorkel that connects the air cleaner to the throttle body to gain access to the mounting bolt for the purge solenoid. So what happens if you have to code p0496 set and you test the purge solenoid and the purge solenoid tests okay? Well, this condition caused by a common ongoing purge solenoid. That's why it's always a good idea to test the purge solenoid more than one time at different temperatures. And also, if you have other code set, in EVAP system like code p0422 or code p0455. Now, if the purge solenoid is partially leaking, it might actually set code p0422. Now, p0422 is a small EVAP leak. Now, if the purge solenoid is stuck open, completely open, it will not run the large leak. The computer will not run the large EVAP leak. But if the purge solenoid is partially stuck open, the computer will run the large leak, and it will fail the small leak. Now, both codes might be caused by the intermittent purge solenoid, but also it might be caused by a small leak in the plumbing of the EVAP system. Now, the vehicle I'm working on is a very good example of this situation, because at the beginning of the video the car had two codes in it, the p0496 and p0422, and according to the vacuum gauge reading, the p0422 should not set because the onboard computer will not run the small leak test with the purge solenoid being stuck open like that. That tells me that the purge solenoid was partially open or stuck open. That's why it ran the large leak and failed the small leak. Now, the onboard computer check for EVAP system leak by energizing the purge solenoid and sealing the vent solenoid. Now, the vent solenoid is actually connected to the charcoal canister and the fresh air side, which is basically allow atmospheric pressure to enter the EVAP system when the purge solenoid is activated. Now, the PCM seals the vent solenoid because the vent solenoid normally open. So the PCM closes the vent solenoid and energizes the purge solenoid, allowing the engine vacuum to be drawn into the EVAP system and the gas tank. Now, the PCM monitors the vacuum decay inside the EVAP system and the fuel tank by monitoring the fuel tank pressure sensor. Now, remember, this process of EVAP system leak check only applies to GM cars, since the car I'm working on is a GMC. Now, after removing the purge solenoid from the engine, I need to match the new part with the old one, and also I'm going to test the purge solenoid with the vacuum pump. This time I'm going to connect the vacuum pump to the vacuum port of the purge solenoid and apply a vacuum to it. Now, if the purge solenoid is working correctly, the should hold vacuum. If it doesn't hold vacuum, that means it's leaking. That's another way of testing the purge solenoid. As you can see, I'm pumping and the pump is not moving. That means it's open, it's leaking. Now I'm going to test the new one. From the vacuum port hooked up to the vacuum pump, and this one should hold vacuum. Now, if it doesn't hold vacuum, that means it's bad. But if it holds vacuum, that means it's okay. As you can see, it's holding vacuum, and my vacuum gauge is going all the way down. So the new purge solenoid is actually working correctly. It's always a good idea to test the new parts because some new parts are actually defective. So you don't want to install a defective part on your car. The new purge solenoid comes with new hardware, 2 rubber grommets, 1 mounting bolt, and sleeve, and also comes with a rubber O-ring. Now that O-ring goes around the vacuum port of the purge solenoid. You got to make sure that O-ring is installed correctly, otherwise you'll have a vacuum leak. Now, when installing the Purge solenoid back on the intake manifold, you gotta make sure not to over torque the mounting bolt. Otherwise, you will damage the intake manifold, and then it has to be replaced. Now, if you work on your own car and you know, try to be patient, because working on today's cars can be frustrating. And when you get frustrated, you get mad, and when you get mad, you make mistakes. And when you make mistakes, mistakes are gonna cost you money. Now, before I end this video, I want to show you how much room I have to work with on this job. Now that's the Purge solenoid installed. You know, that's the mounting bolt, the gas vapor line, and you can even see the electrical connector. And I can barely insert my my flashlight, and I had to you know, blindly aim my camera just to take a picture of that, or a video of the Purge solenoid installed. Now, I think the easiest thing about this job is removing and installing the snorkel. Basically, it's 2 clamps, 1 electrical connector, and 1 clip. And also, it's easy to like, share, and subscribe. And also, if you have any questions, any comments, please leave them in the comment section. And also, let me know if this video was helpful for you. From now until the next car fix video, thanks for watching, and I'll see you then.